do it. By the way, anybody know this type of music? If this is your first time here, bienvenidos. Un gran abrazo para ustedes. Un gran abrazote. Que Dios le bendiga. Mira, this group that you're listening to is from Chile. It's a reggae group, and they are fantastic. They had so many awards, and they actually sang with a lot of Bob Marley's sons and their group, and they are fantastic. I absolutely love these guys, and I love their music. And this one that you're listening to in the background is called Antonia, which was written by the lead singer and to his daughter. And it's such a lovely tune. And I wish I could sing it to you guys, but I think maybe we better leave that to the experts like Gongwan, all right? I'll just do the reading, they do the singing, you guys are listening. Does that sound cool? All right. Thank you so much. Un gran abrazo. Bienvenidos. Por favor, si es tu primera vez, quiero decirle que bienvenidos en primer lugar. Que Dios le bendiga. Y también quiero pedirles que busquen unos audífonos para escuchar este show. Este show se llama J. Roldán Speaks. Si les agrada este contenido, bueno, quiero motivarlos para que me sigan en Spotify, que es otro plataforma, y si ya no lo conoces, es un plataforma buenísimo. Y bueno, tengo muchos podcasts ahí, así que si quieren seguirme ahí, lo agradecería bastantemente. Y si pueden soportar y pueden apoyar este show, sería genial, ¿cierto? Así que 1,000,000 de gracias para ustedes. Esto es domingo, y los domingos típicamente pedimos que todos mis seguidores, todos que están aquí, ustedes pueden pedir un poema en su idioma. Así que obviamente ustedes hablan español, y quiero que ustedes piden un poema para que yo le lea. Así que eso hacemos los domingos. En los domingos los llamamos, este show se llama Request Line Sunday, J. Roldán Speaks. Así que muchas gracias por estar aquí. Espero que lo disfruten, y vamos a empezar en unos minutitos. Voy a esperar unos segundos para el resto de la compañía para que puedan llegar. Así que muchas gracias por todo, por su sintonía, ¿cierto? Gracias. Bueno, hello everybody. Have you had a wonderful day? Did you call your dad, by the way? Or your grandfather? I know some of us probably don't have great relationships with our fathers, but you know there's some great ones out there. So whoever they are, did you call them? Did you hang out with them? Did you give them a great big hug? Did you give them a kiss on the forehead or on the cheek or whatever? Come on, guys. Dads deserve so much credit right now, because it is seriously a difficult task. I know many of us probably make fun of it and just kind of just think otherwise or whatever, but it's really tricky to be a dad. You know, I mean, and I'm talking from even just having my own son, right? It's bro, you know, okay, I have to emphasize this. So here's a little tricky thing about being a dad, especially me, especially. Okay, I can't apply this to every single dad out there, but you know, I'm in my 40s, and I don't really look my age. And I've had several people tell me that I don't even sound like my age, which is interesting to think about, actually. Anyway, so, you know, I love my son, obviously, and I love hanging out with him. And I always like to, you know, just kind of nurture him and teach him things, but also just want to hang out with him sometimes, right? And so sometimes I forget that, we're not the same age, but I want him to feel like he can approach me anytime. So it's really tricky, right? So how can you be a dad, but also a friend, right? I mean, I think it's more important to be a dad than a friend. And I know many of you probably scratching your head right now thinking like that. But what I mean by that is a dad actually has to lead, right? He has to lead by example. He has to be the best role model for his son or daughter, right? And he has to lead. And so if you're a friend, sometimes it's a little tricky and a little more difficult, a little more challenging to lead, because a lot of times they equate you as somebody that's either of equal or lesser, right? It's hard. It's not usually you don't really see your friend as somebody higher than you. And so I think as a father, you need to be in this sort of leadership position. And that's actually a great thing, and it's very important too, right? Because especially young sons, they need this direction, right? They may not know it or ask for it, but they need it. And in the end, they will definitely appreciate it when they get older. So I think that for my case, I always had a little bit of a challenging experience with my son regarding that. But, you know, all good. We definitely spent a really great day today. We went to a really nice lake nearby and just had like a little cool man picnic. And yeah, it was a nice day. I was, just hanging out and swimming with him and, just, not saying much, but, we were just there, just hanging out in the water, throwing the ball and all these things. And got back home and ate some good burgers and some food and just hang out and played some video games. And now I'm doing this live. So I think all is good in this household of J Roldan. If this is your first time here, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I know you could have done so many things. And I'm telling you, tonight is going to be a great night. And I am so looking forward to reading your poems tonight. It's interesting to see that whenever like people are in distress, whenever people are just kind of like, I don't know, just not at peace, right? They're not, let's just say, very, very restless, right? It's their mind actually kind of has this mechanism of kind of having a very, very short attention span and perhaps even like, metaphorical fuse, and they just kind of lose interest in everything, right? Or most things. And so I think that one of the great things about this particular podcast and this particular show is that poetry is a very old art, very, very old art, much older than some of the other arts that you and I are familiar with today. And that's not to take away the prestige or the impact or the benefits of the other types of arts out there. Well, all I'm trying to say, guys, is sometimes that this poetry has this really unique way of just calming things down and really getting rid of all of the unnecessary things that really distract us and really puts us in a restless state. And I think that's one of the reasons why many of you like to come back here and just listen to some of these words, because yes, I appreciate you guys saying nice things about the voice, but really it's about the words here, right? It's about how these words are conjugated, how they're nestled, how they're actually designed and placed so that they can make a everlasting impact on our minds and our hearts. And hopefully it can, influence others because of how you experienced it, right? How you received it. And so, it's very tricky, but also very surprising and not surprising that platforms like these, right? Like this right here. And I know many of you, some of you have made some comments in the last few podcasts about why don't I like to name this platform right here. It's because, well, I mean, there's a lot of platforms out there that are very biased, and I'm not really a big fan of that. And I'm a media scholar, by the way, those of you who are new don't know me. And there's very few platforms out there that are unbiased. And so that's why Spotify for me is one of the few ones out there that are unbiased, and so I like to promote them, as much as this platform has done some really nice things for the show. Really, Spotify has done even better for me, at least, and for this show in particular. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that platforms like this one right here, it's very interesting because the way it was designed was for short attention spans, right? It's for sort of like this, and let me rewind that. Actually, it's not for short attention spans, but it's for the short entertainment, right? It's the most impact for the short amount of time, which makes your mind think that you're watching a abundant of content, and that way you are constantly trying to look at material that is pertaining to your interests. And so you're gonna most likely watch videos that are 5 to 7 seconds long rather than 30 to a minute long, right? And so the more you watch more of that content, then the more your brain actually starts becoming more addicted to it. And so you sort of lose interest in things that are much longer, much more, shall we say, slowed down. And so I find it very, very interesting that many of you find this show really beneficial to you, right? Or at least very interesting to you. Because once again, you could easily just not listen to it, right? Because you have so many other options out there, and really your mind is just more trained in this platform to listen to shorter content, right? And so I'm glad that this exists, not only here, but also on Spotify. Now, one of the great things about Spotify is that besides being unbiased, is that you are more focused on more of an audio realm. And for the longest time, I wanted to keep it just audio, but recently, or not, at least since last year, Spotify has now enabled video content to be posted on its platform. And I was so hesitant to upload some of my video podcasts on there. But I know many of you, especially a lot of my followers and my supporters on Spotify, they have requested that I post the videos. And so in honor of them, and also they're also paying the bills, I started to upload video now. So if you are interested in listening to some more of this content here, from this show, then go to Spotify, because now you have the option of watching these podcasts on Spotify, as well as just listening to it as an audio feature. So I personally would recommend just listening to audio. That way you can just kind of like go about your day, work, or do whatever you need to do, and listen to the show while you're doing your thing, right? Maybe even your commute to work. So I encourage you to do that. But if you really want the video, then just simply go to my Spotify account. It's called Jay Roldan Speaks, and just press play on one of the episodes, right? At least in the last 5 episodes, and then you'll see the video podcast there, right? I know some of you also have been asking if I can post video podcasts from my older podcasts, and unfortunately, that's not going to be possible, because a lot of that had to be, I could only keep the audio portion of it, because the video was taking so much space. I just couldn't keep that one, so I had to get rid of it. But I still have the audio clips, obviously, but at least you have the audio on Spotify. So I won't be able to upload the video portion of my older podcast, but at least now, from the last 2.5 weeks, you now have access to some video podcasts. And so we're going to keep doing that, guys, and I hope you guys understand that, you have that option now, right? All right. All right, guys, let's do this. This is the Jay Roldan Speaks podcast. If you guys don't mind, go ahead and press that like button. Let's get some more viewership up here. And as you guys know, this is Request Line Sunday. So what I'm doing right now is stalling so that you guys can look for those poems for me to read tonight. If you don't mind putting on the comments at some point, let me know what poems you want me to read, and I will put it on my queue. And also on, let's see. Mostly on the queue. And don't forget, those of you who speak Spanish, I know there was one person here that was speaking Spanish. Si tú quieres que yo lea un poema en tu idioma, por favor, dame el título del poema y también el poeta. Así que sería genial, estaría muy agradecido. Sería un honor leer tu poema en tu idioma, ¿cierto? Gracias por estar aquí. All right. So, as per usual, Miss Sandra has a bunch of poems you want me to read tonight. How come we always read the same stuff every week, guys? Come on. I'm just kidding. No, we can definitely do that one. I'm going to do that one in a Scottish accent. So Seamus is going to show up tonight, guys. So hopefully you guys will be all right with that. And by the way, who made the comment about YouTube? I gotta say something, man. I'm not a really big fan of YouTube, honestly, so I don't really like to post my stuff on there very much, but I'm mainly focusing on Spotify and this one, but I do have some stuff on YouTube if you like that, but I'm not gonna be posting much on there, honestly. It's just I just don't like it. I really don't like it. Anyway, so sorry to burst your bubble. All right, let's see what else. My Burning Heart by Rumi. All right, that's in the queue. 2 poems so far, good so far. What else we got? Who shares words with mouth? All right. right, so looks like another Rumi poem. Excellent. And Still I Rise by Maya Angelou. Yes, we will try to honor that one as well. What else? What else shall we do? Did you mean, wait a minute, the 100 Years From Now by Edgar Guest? Did you mean Mary A. Ford? Because I'm pretty sure that's who you mean. Why don't you confirm that before you make the decision? No, my dear. What's your name? C. Wygent? So the way this works, since it's Request Line Sunday, you tell me the title and the poet. So you pick it, if you don't mind. The rest of the week, I'll do the work for you. I have no problem, and I would be so honored to do that. And I'm so looking forward to the week. But the Sunday is the time that I actually lay back a little bit, kind of relax, and you do the work, if you don't mind, right? So once again, tell me the title of the Thoreau poem that you want me to read, if you wouldn't mind. Yes? All right. No problem. I just want to make sure that that's the poem that you wanted, right? Unless you actually wanted a poem from Edgar Guest. But that's why I asked you guys to give me the title. That's why I don't have to worry, right? I don't have to wonder and sit here and just be like, wait a minute, did you mean this, or that? It's gonna be all right. Anyway, no worries. It's all good, guys. By the way, since we are waiting for some more poems to be requested, you guys can ask them questions too if you like. I know many of you have asked some questions during the lives, and I've just been so busy or immersed in the readings and the analysis that I don't get a chance to actually read your questions or answer your questions. So if you would like to ask a question, I'd be happy to do so today. It's up to you, right? Why not? It's Request Line Sunday, guys. This is a laid back podcast. This is definitely not going to be posted. But I definitely look forward to Sunday nights because it's just really easy for me, guys. It's been a long day. I actually feel a little bit tired, but I'm going to crank out these ones that you guys want me to read tonight, right? I think the Peruvian left, which is kind of too bad because, well, seems like she was wanting a poem to read in Spanish, but she didn't stay long enough. Ladies, why don't y'all stay, right? Why do you always leave when there's a good guy on camera? I'm just kidding. It's Request Line Sunday. All right, let's see. Oh, you want me to read an Edgar Guest poem? Oh, got it. All right, that's in the queue. Good for you. Let's see. How long do you practice pairing your poems with your songs? Oh man, it really depends on the theme. It really depends on the right, like the word that I'm going to be analyzing, right? As you guys know, those of you who are new to the show, typically on my podcast, I pick a word or a phrase and sometimes a theme, and I do a word history of it, right? Like I talk about like where it comes from, what cultures and what civilizations first used it and how they used it, and then how it sort of got evolved into how we use it today. And then I match some poems that talk about that theme or talk about that word. Anyway, to answer your question, it really depends on the word or the theme. Sometimes the word is so familiar to me that it doesn't take me long to find the poems. But sometimes it's a word that I haven't tried before, that I haven't analyzed before. And so those usually take about an hour or so. And so, I mean, it doesn't take that long, but it's still an hour, right? It's like an hour of your life. So, I mean, that's why, like, I do take these seriously, and I do have a lot of fun with it, and I really absolutely love doing this, by the way. And as you guys know, I mean, if I could do this full time, I would, but right now my listener support is, I'm so happy that you guys are, those of you who are supporting the show. I'm so thankful. But if I wanted to do this full time, I need at least 1,000 followers, right? Like at least 1,000 people that are actually supporting the show, even if they were just doing $1, right? So like that's like something. But right now, it's probably more about a third the way. So it's significant, but it's not quite there yet, right? So we need definitely 3/4 more, and if not, maybe even 8, right? So we'll see. All right, let's see what we got here. Wait, see Wise Giants Smoke? Is that like for Thoreau? Is that who you're asking? I'm a little bit lost with your word there. So so that's what's called Smoke by Henry David Thoreau? Okay. I think that's it. I think that's what you mean. All right, let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 poems? This is going to be a short podcast. Last work for me. Early bedtime. Oh, and that's the other thing. Is it Beth? Yes. So the other thing, I actually, to be quite honest, the word or theme takes about maybe 20 minutes-ish for me to like completely dissect it and just really, really like understand it really well. And then it takes like another 10-15 minutes for the poems. And then the rest of the time, usually music is what really, really takes a lot of my time, because I always like to pick and pair the songs that are going to do the most impact for the reading of the poem. And I absolutely love when it's right, when it's just right. And usually when it's just kind of like random, it doesn't really impact me as much, and I don't really feel immersed in it, which is why I want to pick a soundtrack that actually does have this really nice, immersive atmosphere. And I think you guys appreciate that, right? I think you guys appreciate whenever I am immersed in that song, and it just changes how you experience it. It just changes how you read it. It just changes how you're open to it, succumb to it. And I've known a few people that really don't like poetry, and their mind is very logic oriented. And I love reading to them, because when they realize that the amount of time that I prepare to read these poems, and when they experience it for the first time, I really love seeing their face, and I really love seeing their reaction, because it's then that I realize how powerful poetry is, and how it can be so in many ways life-changing. I truly believe that the poetic word, right? The way poetry is written, the way it's spoken, the way it's articulated, I really think it's something that was specifically designed for like a spiritual experience. And I'm speaking directly with, when it comes to like scripture reading, right? Like when it comes to the Old Testament, for example. Every time there was a prophet or, just a wise teacher that was very, very just enamored and wanting to be consoled and counseled by God, then they always speak in poetic verbiage. And I believe that this is done in poetic verbiage. And I believe that this is done on purpose, so that the purest form of language, the purest form of speaking can be or cool thing or whatever, you know, or cool thing or whatever, you know, jazzy thing or something, or, you know, just something that you can just do on a whim or something like that, you know, and that it's like so expressive, and, you know, people equate that to be powerful. But it's much more than that, and I wouldn't even say it's actually any of those things, because, you know, like I said, poetry was done as a ceremonial spiritual act, right? And if you actually look at some of the old ancient texts, especially like when it comes to Plato and Aristotle, even those guys have admitted how powerful poetry is, and how it, and when it was used. It was used for ceremonial purposes, and so it's not to be done just nonchalantly, right? You can't just do it on a whim. You can't do it like whenever you're at a family gathering and it's like, hey guys, I came up with this cool poem to honor this day. You know what I mean? Like, my goodness, like, you know, I'm not trying to say that those of you who like to write it and like to do that, like, that's fine. You can go ahead and do that. I mean, obviously you can do that all day and all the times that you want, but don't expect for that poem to be that impacting, because you really didn't put a lot of effort into it. You didn't put a lot of time into it. You know, some of the greatest poems out there take months to write, and sometimes even years. I mean, one of the greatest poems that I have ever read, and you should too, by the way, is by none other than Lord Alfred Tennyson, who wrote a beautiful, elongated, epic poem to his best friend, Arthur Hallam. And, you know, it's called In Memoriam, and it's one of the most impacting poems I've ever read. And it's so long. It's got over 100 verses, and each verse has 4 stanzas, and each stanza has 4 to 6 lines in them. And he didn't just write on a whim. This took him years to write. So don't tell me that whatever random dude shows up on television and all of a sudden just kind of improvs a poem is going to be just as good as Tennyson's. No, sorry. You're never going to win that battle. You might win it with some like less thoughtful people, but you're never gonna trump the Tennyson poems. Sorry, it's just not possible. This guy spent his life writing this poem, and to just disregard it as something that was just kind of done on a whim, no, that's never gonna happen. So that's really what I wanted to say. Where were we? All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Jay Roldan Speaks podcast. Have you been looking to this night? I told all y'all, especially my followers, tonight is Request Line Sunday. So where are the poems at? Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 poems so far. This is your chance for me to read a poem of your choosing. So if you speak a different language, s'il vous plaît. Je désire, très désire parler le français d'un poème, n'est-ce pas? I would love to read a poem in your language. Sería genial leer un poema en tu idioma. Seria grande, muito grande ler um poema de vocês, um poema em português, né? Gostaria bastante. One of yours? Oh man, it's Father's Day. I don't want to read mine. I'll think about it. Oh, did I add that? No, I did not. Thank you for reminding me. That's a great one. Lasse. Okay. All right, that is in the queue. What else did you want, Lasse? What else? Hello. All right, you know what? You know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to say your names tonight because I don't get a chance to do it during the live. So I'm going to say your names for your names for Sunday Night Request Line. Hello, Lisa. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Nana. Hello, Monica. Hello, Beth. Hello. Bienvenidos, hermano. I know. I missed you, man. I'm so happy you're here, bro. So happy you're here. Guys, go check out Howard's music. He's a great guy. He's a good dude. Good dude. ¿Por qué te fuiste? Ya me abandonaste como todas las otras. Thank you, Prince. Hello, Prince. Hello. Who else is here? Yesenica. Marina. Bienvenidos aquí. Hello, Erica. Who else? Did I say everybody's name yet? The ones that are here? No? I think so. Oh, it is Rebecca. Well, look at that. Your actual name is Brenda. Look at this. Hello, Brenda. Aubrey. Hello, Aubrey. Bienvenidos, hermanos. Bienvenidos. Yesenia Marina. Oye, ¿por qué no me contestas? Quiero leer un poema en tu idioma. Así que pídame un poema en tu idioma, por favor. Dame el título y el poeta, por favor. No seas avergonzada. Esto es un show para todos. Para los hombres, para las mujeres, para los niños, para los adultos, para los ancianos, los abuelitos, para todos los papás. Feliz Día del Padre. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Oh, Diana, I can't forget you, of course not. Welcome to the show. This is the Jay Rolton Speaks podcast. When we get ready to read these poems, guys, I'm going to change the music. It's going to be much more soothing. It's going to be much more laid back. And I think you guys will like it, you know? Again, this is your first time here. This is the Request Line Sunday where you guys get to pick the poems and I get to read them. However, throughout the week, it's the opposite. I pick the poems, I pick the theme, and you guys just relax, listen to these wonderful life lessons, and enjoy the show, right? But not Sunday. Sunday, you guys do the work. I just read it. I get to sort of lay back, right? Anyway, looking forward to it. Let's see. Yes, laugh to cry. I would love to laugh to cry. In a good way, right? All right, that's in the queue. Oh, wait, whoa. Laugh to cry. Let's see. David. There it is. I think that's the one. There's your one. Wait a minute. Did I get the right one? To laugh while crying. Is that? Wait a minute. To laugh to cry. I think I got the wrong one. Let me see. I don't know if I got the wrong one. I don't know if I got the right one. You're gonna have to. I'll have to come back to this one. Can I read? Yes. Al claro. Claro que sí. Por supuesto. Delmira Agustín. Sería un placer, señora. Ok. Está en el queue. Please and thank you. Por favor. You don't need to say please. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right. Anything else, guys? Only one Spanish poem tonight. I guess it's better than nothing. Howard, where are you at? Come on now. I know you speak Spanish. Come on, I need a Spanish poem, bro. Let's go. Did you get Air in Flight? Air in Flight? No, I did not get Air in Flight. Who's it written by? I need the poet. S'il vous plaît. La nuit est très... je suis très exorciste. No? I'm so looking forward to tonight, guys. Can't wait to go to bed. Read. Huh? Wait, did you get... Okay, we're getting... No. Just give me the name of the poet for Air in Flight. I'm not sure what you're asking. Come on, guys. Come on. Sandra, do you want to pick something for me to read in Portuguese? I don't know how many souls I have by... Ooh, I like that one. Oh, that you wrote. Oh, where did you send it? Is it in... Where did you send that? Let me see. I don't know how many souls I have by Pessoa? Fernando Pessoa. Bonitinho. Oh, I like that one. Let's read it both in English and Portuguese. Let's see. Where's the one in Portuguese? Come on. Português. Why is it so hard to find in its original language? I know it's gotta be here somewhere. Ah, there it is. Então, sobre a poesia portuguesa, muito bonitinho. All right, A November Night by Sarah Tisdale. Lisa, it is June. Why are you thinking about November? Just kidding. By the way, anybody have 1,000 followers so that you can be on the live with your little camera on? You're welcome to do it. Random question. Favorite thing to eat? You said we could ask questions. Of course you can. Only on Sundays. But my favorite thing to eat? Well, I mean, I've had, since last month, a restricted diet, unfortunately. So, I like to eat everything that I'm able to eat. But I have been really trying to come up with new ways of preparing salmon. I do like salmon, but it's also something that I have to eat on a regular basis now. So I'm trying to figure out like new ways to like prepare and all these things, and you know, salmon's good, but I hope I don't get sick of it, honestly. I like to eat rice, different variations of it. I like to put turmeric in it, cumin in it, just different styles. I like to put vegetables in it while it's cooking and things like that, you know, just to give it different flavors. And anyway, so that's sweet potatoes, lots of squash and cucumbers. And I actually like to eat a lot more fruit, like a lot of melons and strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, peaches. Oh, wait, that reminds me. I do have something that I look forward to every day, and it's my breakfast. Now check this out. I think I figured out the perfect combo of a really good breakfast for those of us that have some restricted diets out there. And here it is. Oatmeal. Now wait, it's not your regular oatmeal, okay? you get a saucepan, right? Get 2 cups of water, fill it, and then get 1 cup of oatmeal. Put it in there when it's boiling. And then while it's boiling, cut up some peaches. And then also prepare, if you have this, by the way, I don't know if many of you do, but I do. I have powdered peanut butter, and it doesn't have the oil and like the soybean oil, all that crap. And so this is just pure crushed peanuts. And I put that in the bowl, right? The powder. I put 3 scoops of this powdered peanut butter in there. And it's not even peanut butter. It's just really just peanuts, crushed peanuts, like very, very fine. Okay, it looks like it's powder. Anyway, you put that in there. Put the sliced peaches in there, and then you put some raw honey. I'm telling you, like 2 teaspoons of raw honey in there, and then you put some half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then you put the oatmeal in there, and then you mix that baby up, bro. You just mix that up. Woo! Yes, sir. That is so good. Absolutely just quenches my entire sweet tooth of the day. And I wish honestly, I would almost prepare that for all my meals, but I only do it for breakfast. And what else? And then sometimes I change it up. Sometimes I put slices of banana or some strawberries or raspberries or blueberries, whatever it is, right? And but don't forget the combo of peanut butter and raw honey. Okay, raw honey. Don't use the manufactured filtered honey. Do the unfiltered raw honey, okay, from your local whatever. And then put in some cinnamon, and I'm telling you, that baby is so hot, like literally hot, but also hot to look at. And you just want to savor it, right? It's like I literally take my time eating that thing, because it took me it takes me about 15 minutes to make, and just I just savor that thing, and I don't know, man. We shouldn't be playing with food, but that's the one meal where I just want to play with it, right? And then you eat it. Anyway, this is a family show, guys. Come on now, okay? You should be thankful that we are not posting this on the Spotify account. All right. Anyway, so good. So I would have to say that is definitely my favorite meal since last month. But yeah, there you go. I also like to eat a lot of avocados. I usually eat that for lunch, and put some tuna in it sometimes, and just put it on pita bread. Or that's really my bread of choice, by the way, guys. I love pita bread. I like to eat it almost every day and every meal if I could. And not that the other breads are bad, but I just really like pita bread, and it's been really good for me. So sometimes I toast it, sometimes I don't, but there you go. So good questions. All right, are we ready for these readings, guys? By the way, moderators, did I miss anybody's requests? Air and light. So it was, you misspelled it. Air and light, no? Let's see, by Charles Bukowski. All right, there you go. By the way, some of these I'm not familiar with, so I will be skimming it, just to make sure that there's nothing inappropriate. Let's see. Yeah, it looks fine. All right. Good. All right, looks like we are good. All right. So far, so good. It looks like these are going to be some good poems tonight, guys. Well done. Let's see. All right, fellas, we're going to get started here. I'm going to change the music and get started. Let's see. All right. I think I got it. Let me see. All right, I'm going to rearrange these. So those of you who requested these, please don't expect these to be in a particular order. I'm going to switch things around because I chose a soundtrack that I recently came across, and I'm trying to sort of wing it, where I want some of the sentimental ones to be aligned with some of these tracks, and so I'm not quite sure. Let me see. All right. Okay, I think. All right. We'll see what happens here. Here we go. Welcome everybody to the J. Roland Speaks podcast. Hope you enjoyed the show. She walks in beauty, like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all the best of dark and bright meet her aspect and her eyes, thus mellow to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. And one shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tree's tress, or softly lightens over her face. The thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. And on that cheek, and oh, that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. She Walks in Beauty by Lord Byron George Gordon. I once saw a woman swear that time slowed down because of the way she elegantly was walking across the hall. And I was almost forced to watch. And I couldn't believe that this vision was happening. And I didn't want to be distracted by anything or anyone. And so I just looked and watched this elegant woman walk by. Of course, I had a desire to know who she was, but at the same time, I think it was enough just to admire how she went about and conducted herself, you know? And I think there's something really unique about a woman's beauty and the way they elegantly conduct themselves. I think there's a beauty there that can never be replaced by any man-made standards of today. You know, and I hope that one day elegance will be sought after by women, because there's something to be learned from an elegant woman. There's a very tenderness and to some degree innocence, I guess, about the beauty of elegance. And really, you can never get enough of that. You can never learn enough of it, which is why I think it should be practiced, conducted, and passed towards younger generations, young girls. So that's what I think about when I read this poem by Lord Byron, you know? And I'm sure he was doing the same, you know? I'm sure he was doing the same. Just pondering on that elegance of a woman, you know? You don't need to show a bunch of skin. Just the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you conduct yourself, the way you preserve and reserve yourself. All of these things are a true natural beauty of a woman. So maybe if you want more gentlemen out there, let's see if we can get more elegant women out there too. Right? All right. Good choice. All right. Next is Rumi, My Burning Heart. Here we go. My heart is burning with love, and all I can see is this flame. My heart is pulsing with passion, like waves on an ocean, and my friends have become strangers. And I'm surrounded by enemies. But I'm free as the wind. No longer hurt by those who reproach me. I'm at home wherever I am. And in the room of lovers, I can see with closed eyes the beauty that dances behind the veils. Intoxicated with love, I too dance with rhythm of this moving world. I have lost my senses in my world of lovers. My Burning Heart by Jalal al-Din Rumi. Hello. Yes. Okay, this next one, I gotta read the Portuguese one for this one. I'm gonna read it in its original language first, followed by the English translation. You guys ready for this one? Give me 1 second. I lost it. There it is. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? Welcome to the J. Roland Speaks podcast. Guys, get those likes up. Let's go. We need more people to be impacted by this wonderful art of poetry. Seriously, guys. You have one job. I'm just kidding. You guys ready for this next amazing poem by Fernando Pessoa? This is such a great track, by the way. Don't cry. This is not a night for crying. This is a night for cheerfulness and remembering your fathers, the good fathers out there. All right? Here we go. Não sei quantas almas tenho. Cada momento mudei continuamente. Me estranho. Nunca me vi nem aqui. De tanto ser, só tenho alma. Quem tem alma não tem a calma. Que vê isso, o que vê sente, não requemer. Atento ao que sou e vejo. Torno-me a elas. E não eu. Cada meu sonho ou desejo é do que nasce e não meu. São minha propriedade. Assisto a minha passagem. Diverso mobível é sou. Não sei sentir. Sentir-me onde eu estou. Por isso, leio vou lendo como páginas meu ser. O que siga ou não prevendo. O que passou a esquecer. Noto a margem do que li, do que lai, o que julguei, que senti. Releio e digo: foi eu? Deus sabe, porque o escreveu. Porque o escreveu. Ai, ai, ai. Que bonitinha. Que bonitinho as letras de Fernando Pessoa. Alright, buddy. This is the English translation of Fernando Pessoa's poem. This is titled, I Don't Know How Many Souls I Have. Here we go. Don't know how many souls I have. I've changed at every moment. I always feel like a stranger. I've never seen or found myself. From being so much, I have only soul. A man who has soul has no calm. A man who sees is just what he sees. A man who feels is not who he is. Attentive to what I am and see, I become them and stop being I. Each of my dreams and each desire belongs to whoever had it, not me. I am my own landscape, and I watch myself journey, various, mobile and alone. Here, where I am. myself. That's why I read as a stranger. My being as if it were pages, not knowing what will come and forgetting what has passed. I note in the margin of my reading what I thought I felt. Rereading, I wonder, was that me? God knows, because he wrote it. My goodness, what a beautiful poem by Fernando Pessoa. You know, that's kind of how I feel when I read some of my poems, guys. I know many of you have asked for me to read some of my poems, and it's not because thank you. Muito obrigado. It's not because I'm trying to be difficult or anything like that. It's just, it really impacts me, you know? I mean, I feel like I'm really reliving it every time I read my poems. And it's not because I'm sad or like I have regrets or like that. It's just that those moments were so sweet and tender and so vivid and alive. I just sometimes don't want to come back to reality. But I repeat, it has nothing to do with regrets. It has nothing to do with, being still in love or, whatever other things that some of you guys are thinking. This is how I read. This is why I get so immersed. This is how I read my poems on these podcasts, guys. Because I find myself in there. And even if I haven't written this poem in particular, the same thing's happening right now. I'm just so moved by it that once I was a stranger to this poem and now I'm not, because this poem allowed me to be immersed in itself. And it's a temporary home. And I like it so much that I don't want to come back to this, right? I don't want to come back to this reality. But you move forward and you press on, and then you find a way to make it to reality. But the difference is, this time you carry some of those words with you, so that you don't have to read it anymore. But maybe you can live some of them in your days to come. So maybe for this day in particular, to all the good dads that have been so loving, so sacrificing to their sons and daughters, we know the strength that you have, and we know the capacity of compassion that you carry. I hope that your children honor you and give you all of the tender-hearted embraces, and especially words that are reserved only for you. Lord knows we need more good dads out there. See, I can't even continue now. Just kidding. All right, so speaking of continuing, we're going to read a poem by Edgar Guest called Keep Going. That's right. Jay Roldan, snap out of it. We got a live to do. We got a show to do. We got a podcast to do for all these young, bright minds out there, especially the hungry ones. So this one's for you. This is for all of us. This is for all of us that have had a really tough day, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, and sometimes years. You know what? Those things are temporary. So don't worry. Mourn, cry, but don't panic. Don't resolve yourself to a state of desperation. Perhaps these words mean something to you. We'll see. This is by Edgar Guest. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the depths are high, and you want to smile but you have to sigh, when care is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. Don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You may just succeed with another blow. Often the goal is nearer than it seems to a faint and faltering man. Often the struggler has given up when he might have captured the victor's cup. And he learned too late when the night slipped down. How close he was to the golden crown. Success is failure turned inside out. The silver tint of the clouds of doubt, and you never can tell how close you are. It may be near when it seems afar. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It seems it's when things seem worst that you mustn't quit. So keep going. By Edgar Guest. May that be a motivation to all you fathers out there. We need you. We need you to be strong. We need you to be leaders and guide children towards righteousness. No greater happiness is bestowed upon a father when he knows his children's souls are saved. All right, look at this. Isn't this amazing, guys? I'm telling you. All right, we're gonna write. We're gonna read Maya Angelou's "Still I Rise." I don't know how this is gonna sound, but we're gonna wing it this one. All right, here we go. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. And you may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like them moons and like suns, with certainty of tides. Just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes? Shoulders falling down like teardrops and weakened by my soulful cries? No, sir. Does my hardiness offend you? Do you take it awful hard? 'Cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. Yes, sir. You may shoot me with your words, and you may cut me with your eyes, and you may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise, and up from the past they rooted in pain I rise. I am that black ocean, and leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that wondrously clear I rise. Bring the gifts with my ancestors gave. I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise. I rise. arise. Ooh. Perfect timing. That was Maya Angelou, Still I Rise. Great poet, great poem, great message. Now, shall we read Max Ehrman, Desiderata? Let's do it. Go placidly amid the noise and the haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender. Be on good terms with all persons, and speak your truth quietly and clearly. And listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons, and listen, and they are vexatious to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain or bitter. For always there are and will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans, and keep interested in your own career, however humble. It is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. You see, many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially, do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, and gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with dark imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of this great universe by the great Creator, no less than the trees and stars. You have not just the right, but the blessing to be here. And whatever or not it is clear to you, no doubt this great world is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noise and confusion of life, keep peace in your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be cheerful and strive to be happy. That was the Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. I actually added a few words in there, just FYI everybody, just because some of the things that he says towards the end are a little vague, so I had to add in a few words in there. But it's a great poem nonetheless. Excellent poem. Well done to you that chose it tonight. Okay, Lisa Matkowski, I don't know if you're still awake. Okay, Lisa Matkowski. I'm trying to look for that poem that you want. It's called To Laugh While Crying, but I'm getting one that says To Laugh While Crying. So let me make sure I got this right. So don't go anywhere, Lisa. Just 1 second. Let me see. So is it the one? It looks like a dialogue. Is that right, Lisa? So I'm getting here To Laugh While Crying, watching Garrick, an actor from England, the people would say applauding. That's what I'm getting here, but I don't know if I got the right one. That's what it's called? Okay. Alright, we're gonna wing this one. I have never read this before, but it looks fun. So let's see what happens. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna start the struck again. Yes, I have David Garrick in here, but that's not what's showing up. Okay, let me just try one more time here. Yeah, it's the same one I'm getting every time. All right, this is all I got. So whatever, I'm just gonna read whatever I found here. It looks fun. Anyway, here we go. You are the funniest one on earth, and the happiest one. And the comedian would laugh. Victims of melancholy, the highest lords, during their darkest and heaviest nights, would go see the king of actors and change their melancholy into roars of laughter. Once before, a famous doctor became a man with eyes so somber. I suffer, he said, an illness so horrible as this paleness of my face. Nothing holds any enchantment or attractiveness, and I don't care about my name or my fate. I die living an eternal melancholy, and my only hope is that of death. Travel and distract yourself. I've traveled so much, searched for readings, I've read so much. I have a woman love you, but I am loved. Get a title. I was born a noble. Might you be poor? I have richness. Do you like compliments? I have so many. But do you have as a family? sadness. Do you go to cemeteries? Cemeteries? Often. Very often. Of your current life, do you have witnesses? Yes. But I don't let them impose their burdens. I call the dead my friends, and I call the living my executioners. It leaves me, added the doctor, perplexed at your illness. And I don't want to scare you, but take today this advice as a prescription. Only watching Garrick, you can be cured. Garrick? Yes, Garrick, the most indolent and austere society anxiously seeks him. Everyone who sees him dies of laughter. He has an amazing artistic grace. And me? Will he make me laugh? Ah, yes, I swear it. He and no one but him. But what disturbs you? So, said the patient, I won't be cured. I am Garrick. Change my prescription. How many are there who, tired of life, ill with pain, dead with tedium, makes others laugh as the suicidal actor without finding a remedy for their illness? How often we laugh when we cry. Nobody trusts the merriment of laughter, because in those beings devoured by pain, the soul groans when the face laughs. If faith dies, if calm flees, if our feet only step on thistles, the tempest of the soul hurls to the face. A sad lighting, a smile, the carnival of a world is such a trickster, that life is but a short masquerade. Here we learn to laugh with tears, and also to cry with laughter. To Laugh While Crying by David Garrick. I think the message is pretty clear, guys. Some of us may look like we are in good health, in a good state of being, but some of us are hiding our true emotions, our true pain. You know, I'll never forget this. I shared this with you guys several lives ago, but I think many of you know who Ed Sheeran is. And I watched him on a talk show once, and, well, he was asked about his particular usage of social media. I don't know if you guys know this, but Ed Sheeran doesn't really have a lot of social media platforms, but the ones that he does have, he only uses it to promote his music. So basically he uses it as a business. He never posts any selfies, nor puts any sort of like, yay, I'm going to the grocery store type of posts. It's always about when his new songs are coming out and when they're playing and where you can access them, all these things. And so he was asked about why he only uses it for that, right? I mean, not that it's a big deal, but, you know, with a name like his, that seems really interesting, right? I mean, he's a young guy, so usually his generation are the ones that are very much, you know, on the daily with these platforms. And he quite simply said, well, he genuinely is much more worried about his friends and people in general that use social media to post their everyday life comings and goings. And reason being is because most of the time, those people, and he's including his friends, right? His friends, and he's always wondering if they are hurting inside. And so he actually genuinely called one of his friends when he saw one of his close friends post a selfie on their Instagram. And he called him up and he just said, hey, is everything okay? And his friend, at first was a little bit shocked by his question, and then later revealed that, he was having a tough time. So, I know many of us like to have some type of approval or, some type of just kind of a reaching out, right? Some type of reaching out. I want to encourage you to, why don't you reach out to a dear friend of yours? Call them up and just chat of some of the most random things. Instead of posting a selfie about what you're doing, why don't you take that same moment and just say, hi, hey, what are you doing right now? Can I talk to you about something? I think you'll find that practice to be much more fulfilling, something that social media can never supersede. So, maybe we can have that same love and impact and attention towards good dads out there. Sometimes we dads, we hide our emotions a lot, and sometimes we'll walk in our room and close the door and just kind of weep by ourselves. And we're not going to post that stuff on social media, but we're definitely not going to tell anybody else. So to all you sons and daughters that have a great dad out there, next time you see your dad, why don't you just hug him for no reason? Hug him until he says, what's this for? And if you don't even answer that question, he'll know. Anyway. Whew. Good poems tonight, guys. Good poems. And this track is so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, you guys are gonna cry for this one. Sorry to say. Are you guys ready? Okay, I'm telling you guys, you're gonna cry for this one. This is also, I think Lisa chose this one. This is by Sarah Tisdale. This is called On November Night. So if you cry, you can all blame it on Lisa. Just kidding, Lisa. Here we go. Let's do this, guys. Let's make this poem a memorable one. Let's make this so we can post this on the J. Roland Speaks podcast as a separate poem-only audio. Here we go. All right, let's start this again. Let's bring the magic. Let's do this. see the line of lights, a chain of stars down either street. Why can't you lift the chain and give it to me? A necklace for my throat. I twist it round and you could play with it. You smile at me as though I were a little dreamy child behind whose eyes the fairies live. And see, the people on the street look up at us, all envious. We are a king and queen. Our royal carriage is a motor bus, and we watch our subjects with a haughty joy. How still you are. Have you been hard at work? And are you tired tonight? It is so long since I have seen you. 4 whole days. I think. My heart is crowded, full of foolish thoughts, like early flowers in an April meadow. I must give them to you. All of them. Before they fade. And the people I have met, the play I saw, trivial, shifting things that loom too big or shrink too little, shadows that hurry, gesturing along the wall, haunting or gay, and yet they all grow real and take their proper size here in my heart. When you have seen them. And there's the plaza now, a lake of light. Tonight, it almost seems that all the lights are gathered in your eyes and drawn somehow toward you. You see the open park, lying below us with a million lamps scattered in wise disorder like the stars. And we look down on them as God must look down on constellations floating under him, tangled in clouds. Come, then, and let us walk, since we have reached the park. It is our garden, all black and blossomless this winter night, but we bring April with us. You and I. We set the whole world on the trail of spring, and I think that every path we ever took has marked our footprints in mysterious fire, delicate gold that only fairies see. And when they wake up at dawn in hollow tree trunks and come out on the drowsy park, they look along the empty paths and say, "Oh, here they were, and here, and here, and here. Come, see, here's their bench. Take hands and let us dance about it in a windy ring and make a circle around it only they can cross when they come back again. Look at that lake. Do you remember how we watched the swans that night in late October while they slept? Swans must have stately dreams, I think. But now the lake bears only then thin reflected lights. Let's shake a little. How I long to take one from the cold black water, new made gold, to give you in your hand, and see, there is a star deep in the lake, a star. Dimmer than a pearl, and if you stoop down, your hand could almost reach it up to me. There was a new frail yellow moon tonight. I wish you could have had it for a cup, with stars like dew to fill it to the brim. How cold it is. Even the lights are cold. They have put shawls and fog around them, and see. What if the air should grow so dimly white that we would lose our way along the paths, made new by walls of moving mist receding the more we follow? What a silver night. That was our bench the time you said to me the long new poem. But how different now. How eerie with the curtain of the fog, making it strange to all the friendly trees. There is no wind. And yet, great curving scrolls carve themselves, ever changing in the mist. Walk on a little, and let me stand here watching to see you. Too grown strange to me and far. I used to wonder how the park would be we could have it all alone. No lovers with close arms circled in waists to whisper and break upon our dreams. And now we have it. Every wish come true. We are alone now in a fleecy world. Have gone. We two alone. That was A November Night by Sarah Tisdale. I hope you guys have some napkins or handkerchief there. Sorry to make it a little bit emotional. But I digress. Miss Malkowski, you chose this, so... Nah, it's a great poem. So tender. And that soundtrack was just on point. Fire. Woo! Man, that felt so good. Did you guys enjoy that? Yes, sir. Definitely enjoyed that one. It's like fine perfume or an aftertaste of brandy. Alright, we're gonna crank out these last one, guys. Let's see what we got here. This is by Delmira Agustini. We're gonna read it in Spanish first, followed by English translation. Let me get the track real quick and make this impactful. You ready? Here we go. I'm gonna start that again, 1 second. Here we go. La luna es pálida y triste. La luna es exangüe y yerta. La media luna figurásame un suave perfil de muerta. Yo que prefiero a la exigna palidez encarecida de todas las perlas árabes, la rosa recién abierta en un rincón del terruño con el color de la vida. Adoro esa luna pálida, adoro esa faz de muerta. Y en el altar de las noches, como una flor encendida y ebria de extraños perfumes, mi alma la ciencia rendida. Yo sé de labios marchitos en la blasfemia y el vino que besan tras la orgía sus huellas en el camino. Locos que mueren besando su imagen en lagos y muy yertos, porque ella es luz de inocencia, porque a esa luz misteriosa alumbran las cosas blancas y se ponen blancas las cosas, y hasta las almas más negras toman clarores inciertos. Al claro de la luna, por Delmira Agustini. Muchas gracias por tu pedido. Espero que lo disfrutaste. Fue un poquito de un desafío de lengua, ¿cierto? Pero igual lo hacemos empeño. Así que gracias por tu pedido. Alright, fellas. We're gonna translate this. See what happens. This is The Light of the Moon by Delmira Agustini. Aquí vamos. And the moon is pallid and sad. The moon is bloodless and cold. And I imagine the half moon as a profile of the dead. And beyond the renowned and praised pallor of Arab pearls, I prefer the rose in recent bud. And in a corner of this land with the colors of earth, I adore this pale moon, and I adore this death mask. And at the altar of the night, like a flower inflamed, inebriated by strange perfumes, my soul reigns. And I know of lips withered with blasphemy and wine. After an orgy, they kiss, are traced in the lane. Insane one who die kissing her image in lakes, because she is light of innocence. Because white things illuminate her mysterious light. Things taking on white. And even the blackest souls become uncertainly bright. The Light of the Moon by Delmira Agustini. Excellent choice. Thank you for choosing that. Hope you enjoyed it. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's see. We got a few more left. Down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a great, great finish. All right, this next one is by Rumi again, and this is titled, Who Says Words with My Mouth? What? All right, here we go. And all that I think about, then at night I say it, Where did I come from? And what am I supposed to be doing? I have no idea, and my soul is from elsewhere. I'm sure of that. And I intend to end up here. This drunkenness began in some other tavern. When I get back around to that place, I'll be completely sober. Meanwhile, I'm like a bird from another continent, sitting in this aviary. The day is coming when I fly off. But who is it now in my ear who hears my voice? And who says words with my mouth? Who looks out with my eyes? And who and what is this soul? I cannot stop asking. If I could taste one sip of an answer, I could break out of this prison for drunks. I didn't come here for my own accord. I cannot leave that way. And whoever brought me here will have to take me home. This poetry, I never know what I'm going to say. I don't plan it. When I'm outside the saying of it, I get very quiet and rarely speak at all. Who says words with my mouth? Me. I'm the one who says it. Smoke by Henry David Thoreau. You didn't know we had special effects, huh? Light-winged smoke. A carrion bird, melting thy pinions in thy upward flight, lark without song and messenger of dawn, circling above the hamlets as they nest, or else departing dream and shadowy form of midnight vision, gathering up thy skirts, by night star veiling and by day darkening the light and blotting out the sun. Go thou, my incense, upward from this hearth, and ask God to pardon this clear flame. And light-winged smoke, a carrion bird, melting thy pinions in thy upward flight, and lark without song, messenger of dawn, circling about the hamlet's ends as thy nest, or else departing dream and shadowy form of midnight vision, and gathering up thy skirts, by night star veiling and by day darkening the light and blotting out the sun. Go thou, my incense, and upward for this hearth. Ask God to pardon this forsaken clear flame. Hear me. I must tell you something. I wish you hadn't left to that girl. I wish you would have held on, sailed the seas with me, held your most beloved memories, and kissed me. I had forgotten you, but sometimes I lie awake and I see you floating in air, haunting me, and I look at you and I wonder, perhaps I have haunted you, and this is your way of being at rest and breaking the peace. I wish you well. And I would hope you would find someone of worth, someone kind enough to wait, to think of you, to speak well. And to love you without return. So, if I am a ghost to you, may I never haunt your dreams again. All right. You guys like that one? All right, so for our last request, this is by Charles Bukowski. This is titled Air and Light and Time and Space. It's a little bit complicated, but we'll see what happens. Here we go. You know, I've either had a family, a job, something has always been in the way. And now, I've sold my house. I found this place, a large studio, and you should see the space and light. For the first time in my life, I'm going to have a place and the time to create. No, baby. If you're going to create, you're going to create whether you work 16 hours a day in a coal mine or you're going to create a small room with 3 children while you're on welfare. You're going to create with part of your mind and your body blown away, and you're going to create blind, crippled, demented. you're going to create with a cat crawling up your back while the whole city trembles in earthquakes, bombardment, flood and flame, baby, air and light, and time and space. Have nothing to do with it. Don't create anything except maybe a longer life to find no excuses for. I want you to kiss me like rain. Embrace me. Trickle soothing sounds of love. Never let me go. And in return, I will love you, dance with you, and stimulate your mind with unimaginable knowledge. And like the ground receives its rain, I will always be here, waiting for you, listening to your heart's cries. Kiss away the sorrows, so you are left with purified joy and a future far from ordinary. You are my droplet of rain, and I am your forever ground. like to believe that even though you are no longer with me, you still think of me. And I'd like to believe when those thoughts do arrive, you somehow wished I could feel them, to know your heart as I used to know. I'd like to believe you are touching me now, and you are feeling the warmth of my embrace, and how my hands glide over your mouth and the back of your head as I look at you, trying to discern you, how you felt. And how you are completely captivated in your soul. Was mine. I'd like to believe when I told you I love you, there was a promise made, and you knew I'd keep. I'd like to believe you cry for me sometimes. Every tear falling from your face is one of hope, waiting to grow into a radiant flower, reaching for my heart. That's right. I'd like to believe when you dream of me, you see our children dancing around you, loving you, and you are in complete joy. I'd like to believe I am here waiting for you. And you hear me now. You finally understand what I meant to you. And you found a way to love me again. That's what I believe. There you go. That was sonnet number 6 by Jay Roldan. You're welcome. All right, fellas. We're going to close out this show with something wonderful. All right. Give me 1 second. Whew. All right. All right, here we go. This is from the book of Proverbs. This is chapter 2. And one second. One second. No, we got it right. My son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding, indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding, and he holds success in store for the upright. And he is a shield to those whose walk is blameless. For he guards the course of the just and protects the way of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair, every good path. For wisdom will enter your hearts, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will protect you, and understanding will guard you. Wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men, from men whose words are perverse, who have left the straight paths to walk in dark ways, who delight in doing wrong and rejoice in the perversiveness of evil, whose paths are crooked and who are devious in their ways. Wisdom will save you also from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words, who has left the partner of her youth and ignored the covenant she made before God. Surely her house leads down to death, and her paths to the spirits of the dead. None who go to her return or attain the paths of life. Thus you will walk in the ways of the good and keep to the paths of the righteous, for the upright will live in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the unfaithful will be torn from it. Wisdom always. True, altruistic wisdom will always guide you and help you make the best decisions. So, whatever the situation is, my prayer for you is that you also seek wisdom as well. Find it. And you will see that all of the superficial entertainment and sensations are only there to deceive you. But if you want an everlasting hope, an everlasting love, find and seek and search for that true wisdom for your life. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the show. This is the J. Roland Speaks podcast. We will see you sometime soon this week with another great episode of the J. Roland Speaks podcast. Again, if you like this content, go to Spotify, guys. What are you waiting for? Follow me there and support the show. Come on now. I know many of you that are on here already do, but I know many of you that have been following me for some time aren't. Seriously, guys, just think about it. All right. But in all sincerity, just want to say thank you to all of you that have supported the show, and it's been wonderful. And I really, really mean it from the bottom of my heart that your generous help has done a lot of things for this show. It really does. And I hope that you guys will enjoy to continue to come back here. And I have some plans actually of doing something with this studio space. Actually, I want to change it up a little bit, maybe change some of the background, and definitely want to change this mic. It's a great mic, but I want to get something that has a little bit of color and maybe some lighting as well. So I don't know, we'll see what happens, but still in the works. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Have a wonderful night. See you. Buenas noches. Snoop. Let's see who's in here. Interesting. Yeah, definitely drink some water for sure. How are you going to copy this live? Go to Spotify.